Hey there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. I'm your host, PattSun, and today we're going to be taking a look at our slash cheating stories, where the affair partner is now begging OP for help because she is cheating on him too. Oh, sweet, sweet karma. Let's find out how this shit show happened, shall we? Let's begin. My fiance cheated with my best man. Posted by Reddit user Simon Villa.
2 years ago, I, 30 male, was scheduled to get married to the 28 female love of my life. 3 weeks to my wedding, I suddenly noticed that my fiancé was always on her phone, always chatting or discussing with random men, which she always claimed were just friends. Things got so bad, she never even had time for me at this very crucial time in our relationship. This really affected emotionally, as I began to have second thoughts about the wedding. I always had to wonder who she was always discussing with online and meeting with behind me. I said, fuck it, I am gonna trust her. All week I reminded myself, you have to trust her. I was too afraid to let myself believe something was wrong. 2 weeks later, Elle was scheduled to give a presentation to a bunch of IT students about the functionality of spyware on laptops and how to use these spywares to monitor all activities on a laptop. So I decided to infect my laptop with this spyware to show the students how this worked, totally legal. The day before my presentation, my wife approached me claiming her laptop crashed and she needed to keep in touch with her friends online. You never give me your attention, anyways, so there is no way I am giving her my laptop. I remember having this thought in my head. Then a light bulb lit up in my head. Why not give her my laptop? After all, it's mine. I knew fully well my device had this spyware functionality on for the demonstration. So it was a golden chance to have a peep into who she was always chatting with. This was completely legal, as it was my laptop and not hers, right? I had always promised myself never to use my ability to ever snoop in on whatever she was up to. But I told myself I was probably overthinking things, and this was my chance to prove myself right. I gave her the laptop. 15 minutes later, all the communications on my laptop were being synced to a remote database. Meaning I could remotely access all the messages going in and out of my laptop, which happened to also include the messages of whoever was using my laptop. Let me cut the crap. I was reading her messages. 1 minute, nothing happened. 5 minutes, just a few chats with her girls. 10 minutes, dick pic, did you enjoy yesterday night? But she said she was at work yesterday. Yes, I did, she replied. Wait, was someone else using my laptop? Or I had made a mistake in the remote setup programming? I peeked to see her on the kitchen counter, still typing. Elle, missed you so much. 30 minutes in, it got so much worse, I already knew who she was sleeping with. Mark, my best friend and best man. I had only ever seen things like this in movies or project exposures. How could they both stoop so low? To cut the long story short, the wedding did not hold. That experience shaped the direction my career went. I promised myself, if heartbreak ever came calling again, that I would never, ever be caught short of a story. Everything you read on here about my life, whether good or bad, enduring or embarrassing, is me making good on that promise. Because if I ever have to watch my hard work and dedication vanish before my eyes again, I might as well have a life story worth watching. And for those of you wondering, what happened to the smart little cheater? They got married. Yes, her and my best man. A month ago, my ex-best friend texted me that he wanted to know if she was cheating, and he wanted me to be the one to find out. The irony of life.
Oh yeah, she's definitely cheating. Your ex-best friend is a fool, an idiot. What did he expect? That his cheater wife, who had an affair with him, magically becomes faithful just because they got married? Your best friend is a moron, absolute fucking moron. Now he's gonna have no wife and no best friend to help him get through it. What a complete idiot. Look, a wife that sleeps with her husband's best friend has absolutely no morals. Same obviously goes for him. An affair is bad enough, then he actually marries a cheater after seeing what she did to you and being the guy that she did it with. Don't even respond to him, OP. You don't want any of that stupidity to rub off on you. Actually, you might want to respond, just to laugh in his face. Look, he deserves even worse than this, if I'm being honest. He not only chose a whore over a bro, But he also ruined your engagement. But I guess it was for the best. At least you dodged 2 bullets that day. Now you know that you should have at least a little doubt, and never trust someone so blindly if your gut tells you otherwise. I wish you the best, OP. Today's second story is from r/survivinginfidelity. I tried to reconcile and it turned me into a shell of a man. Posted by Reddit user AOAI Throwaway 2022.
Background story. I booked my wedding in October of 2021. In November of 2021, my fiancé came home absolutely wasted from a night out drinking. When she got home, her phone rang, and it was a guy who's always been a friend of hers, and I never saw him as threat, so I answered the phone. He hung up. I had this urge to go through her phone and found she'd been talking to and sending nudes to multiple people on Snapchat. She assured me it was only that, and the people didn't know her, but she just wanted to feel like somebody, and she claims losing her dad and apparently not being there made her numb. I decided this was reconcilable, but I still had the nagging feeling in the back of my head that something wasn't right, and for months, I'd ask repeatedly if there's anything else she needs to tell me. Then in March of 2022, I decide to try and bluff the answer out of her. I told her I've downloaded all her Facebook chat history, and is there anything you need to tell me before I go through it? That's when she told me that she'd previously slept with the guy who rang her up that night in November. I was absolutely heartbroken. I kicked her out and cancelled the wedding. The reconciliation attempts. As we shared 3 children, 2 mine, 1 from her previous relationship who I brought up for 8 years from the age of 2, in April up until 2 weeks ago, we decided to try and reconcile. This period hurt more than the actual betrayal. I was made to feel useless, worthless, and just a small person. My anxiety was through the roof, and I was constantly policing her on everything she did, and it was draining. We were living apart at this time, and I just felt like a nervous wreck all the time. Where is she? Who's she talking to? Who's she with, all day, every day? She said the reason why she cheated was because she didn't feel like herself. She felt numb after losing her dad and wanted to feel something. She said she didn't want me, she didn't want the kids, and just basically she wanted to die. I got told I didn't ever do enough. I got told I wasn't supportive. She claimed I am abusive when she's the one who does all the gaslighting. During the reconciliation, she did everything I asked and basically lived to be with me and to make me feel at ease and move on. Current day. 2 weeks in, I'd had enough and I decided I can't carry on anymore. I love this woman with every bone in my body, but I became an anxious mess. I was displaying toxic behaviors which I don't recognize. It was making me into somebody that I don't want to be, so I ended it and it sucks. I honestly thought this woman was the one I would spend the rest of my life with. I still wish I could. I feel as though I'd never be capable of giving her everything she ever needed, and the day she moves on is going to absolutely kill me. I still have to deal with her because we have kids together, which sucks. It's not all doom and gloom though. I have rediscovered my love for the outdoors. My mental health and anxiety is 10,000 times better, and I feel like I'm slowly discovering who I actually am after being in this relationship and living for somebody for 8 years. I don't even know why I'm writing all this. I guess part of me realized that I haven't actually written my story down before, plus this can be just a bit of a heads up to those that want to reconcile. This is what you are in for. It's tough, and it takes a special kind of toughness to get through it. A toughness that I don't have. You will always have that feeling of the unknown following you, and it'll damage your mental health. Save you both the trouble and kick the fuckers out.
OP. Reconciliation with a cheater is impossible. If you even entertain the idea, then you're a fucking donut. I mean, look at you. You tried it, and then what happened? You just suffered even more. It's just impossible, man. But now, I guess you're awake. So I think you did the right thing by kicking her out. Her delusions and reality are just simply incompatible. You don't deserve to live with a woman who sleeps with other men. Take an STD test and get your kids tested for paternity. Look, OP, we all have our own issues and we're not perfect, but the way to handle issues like hers is to lean into support, not abandon the only support you have and then start fucking another dude. She did this because of her insecurities and her thoughts. Her decisions are not a reflection of who you are and what you put into your relationship. It's simply a reflection of how much of a shitty person she actually is. Good luck, OP. And now, for today's final story. Thousands of texts in 2 months. Some closure on this is a nightmare. Posted by Reddit user character city 5555.
My wife, 30, treated me, 35, like absolute garbage for 2 months. While we were moving into a new house, it was supposed to be a positive new chapter for us, at least in my mind. Anytime I would bring up how I felt, like I was alone, or how she was treating me like absolute shit with no affection, she would say, "Sorry, I can't do anything right for you." There have been so many red flags, but 8 days ago she decided to just not come home. She has spent the night at her friend's a couple times unexpectedly lately, and later found out she was talking to her new boyfriend for hours those nights on the phone. Like blamed me for not texting her the right way and decided she needed a separation to work on herself. I asked about boundaries and how long she needed and where she was staying and if she was seeing anyone. No reply for 4 days. She asks how I'm doing and tells me how she had her first therapy appointment and asks if I scheduled. I ask where she's staying and if she is seeing anyone. Of course, she tells me she has been staying at a couple different girlfriends' houses and that no, she is not seeing anyone, just working on herself. I was supposed to meet her at a wedding yesterday and that would have been our first time seeing each other in a week. I haven't slept or eaten right in 2 months, and the night before the wedding I just couldn't sleep at all, and finally I logged into our shared cell phone account records. She's been texting this guy literally hundreds of times a day. In the past 2 months, there is at least 7,000 incoming and outgoing texts between them. Late night phone calls that went on for hours when she was with friends. It is so many texts, I don't know how she is even getting her work done during the day. And this whole time right in front of me, right next to me, chatting with this guy all fucking day and night while I was busting my ass trying to get this house nice and moved into for us after getting home from my physical job. I am absolutely disgusted. It feels good to know because it answers so many questions, but the fact that I had asked her gently and calmly multiple times the past couple months if there was something going on, seeing her talking to someone else, to just let me know, because we can either work it out or figure out who gets what and all that for the divorce. Nothing, nope. I'm not seeing anyone, I just need to figure myself out and my heart and mind aren't communicating. Their first texts were July 11, and about a week later is when they just started going back and forth non-stop, and that is exactly when I felt something was off in my gut. She went on a business trip shortly after that and wouldn't reply to my texts or even answer one phone call while she was stayed over for 3 days, but I checked the records and there it is those days, just hundreds of texts and super long phone calls the entire time. The morning of the wedding, I call her out over text and let her know how dumb I feel for not checking earlier, no response. I checked the records the next day and the number is being texted back and forth all day until 5 o'clock when the wedding starts, and there's no communication all night. She obviously has her new boyfriend come as her guest. This morning she texts me how I am so dumb for jumping to conclusions and that the phone number is just a close girlfriend she's been texting with about our issues. I call her out multiple times and she still goes on with the lie. She finally gives me her reason for starting this affair and says how she started confiding in her friend because she doesn't take any shit and can see both sides of the story. She is seriously still saying she, while she's telling me all the wrong stuff I did to cause her to start an affair. These people are monsters. They will strike you down absolutely unexpected and make your life a living hell. People that you thought had your back forever. I have never been more miserable in my life, and I did combat tours overseas. Good luck to all of you suffering at the hands of one of these people that supposedly love you. We were together for 7 years and married for 3. She left me with all this extra debt with the new mortgage to handle by myself now and strung me along like she was planning on staying with me while I spent so much money getting things together here, as she made me feel like garbage. Heart is shattered.
OP, just fucking divorce her, man. She's a lost cause and you will be too if you wait around for her. Get a good lawyer. The debt should not all be yours. Time to start taking back your life. Listen, OP, this is trauma you're facing right now, just like combat. In fact, it's been compared to that. You will recover. However, your level of assertiveness in these next few weeks will determine just how long the recovery will take. Look, OP, if the affair started around July, it's still fully possible that she is deep in the affair fog. Reality will come in soon and bite her ass. Act quickly now. Divorce her while she's still in the affair fog and at the mercy of her fantasies. Try to squeeze everything out of her during the divorce. This is the best opportunity to take everything while she's still being blinded by the prospect of a legit relationship with her affair partner. Act now before she wakes up and makes things very difficult for you. Consider yourself lucky that you don't even have kids with this woman. Viewer support is the best way for me to remain independent and continue bringing you these daily videos, which will always be here on my YouTube channel for you to watch absolutely free. So consider clicking that super thanks just below the video title, or you can use my PayPal in the description box down below. Thanks for listening, everyone. If you even somewhat enjoyed today's story, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, and if you really like it, make sure to subscribe to PattSun to never miss a future upload. Stay strong.